go on a spiritual path means to go on an inward search for a sense of meaning and purpose to our lives. And we usually end up on a spiritual path after we experience loss or difficult events in our lives. Those events will usually make us question a lot of the things that we are doing or not doing. And I think this process leads to some kind of personal awakening where we really get in touch with the value of each moment and the value of life. There are a lot of ways to get in touch with that inner spiritual self. One of the most important, I think, is to slow down and to have some quiet time where we can connect with the heart, go into the self, but also just have some time to reflect. Reasons to go on a spiritual path: just a search for a better life and a search for more connection with life and a search for meaning. To be on a spiritual path is to have a different framework for what happens in life and to reframe the events of our lives in a more meaningful way so that we can recover hope and a sense of purpose and place to the things that happen to us. There is purpose to the pain we experience. If we listen to our pain and we go into a place where we make efforts to heal ourselves, we are ultimately able to bring some harmony back into our lives and a connection. And I think living a spiritual life is really about having a connection not only to the self but to the greater universe, to life, to others. We don't necessarily have to have something difficult happen to us to force us to go into this reflective space. But if we have a general malaise, a feeling that we're not exactly doing what we should be doing, that's good enough of a reason to go on a search. And many people do that when they realize at a certain point in their lives that what they've been doing doesn't work anymore, and they are unhappy, and they want more out of life, and they want a connection with themselves and with others and with life. That usually is enough for someone to start opening themselves up to new things, to different ways of seeing the world, and going on a journey, on a spiritual journey. I think the first step is to send out some prayers into the powers that be. If you believe in God, send out a prayer into the universe and ask to be guided, ask to be shown a way that is right for you, that will help you walk your path with more of a spiritual connection in your life. And if we don't ask, usually we do not receive. So by offering prayers and asking to be guided, we can be led to a teacher or a practice that will help us open. For some people it's meditation, for some people it's yoga, for some people it's shamanism, for some people it's more intense healing work where they go into therapy. So there's very different paths out there to connect. The way you would know that your prayer is being answered is through synchronicity. In shamanism, we say that synchronicity is the work of spirit. So when we offer prayers and then we have a hunch to call someone or to talk to someone at the at the cash register at the grocery store, and then a whole world opens up, that's the answer to a prayer. And I think following the ease, and the natural flow is really where we can find, answers to those prayers. If we're in a place where things don't make sense and we feel stuck and we're unhappy with the conditions of our lives, and we can feel apathetic sometimes with what is going on around us. All of those factors can be a call to go on a spiritual journey. And it's whether we want to do something about it or not. So I wanted to thank you for watching. Until next time.